Hello everyone, it's Makito here, or Michael Sherman from the Massachusetts Go Association. I'll be teaching for the MGA today, and I'll be teaching in the H League. This was actually round 2. It was set as a private game, so they couldn't upload the winner or loser here. But I have the game, so let's talk about it. This game, you guys definitely need to work on the basics and fundamentals. Having a mentor or reading some beginner books would really help with this stuff. Let's go about it. I'm going to try and go through this quickly. So we have a 3-4 stone. In opening theory, you usually want to approach the 3-4 stone. You don't want to let white enclose this. So it's not a major mistake at all, but for opening theory purposes, trying to become the most efficient and best players, you would want to play something that approaches this corner so he can't enclose it. So anytime there's a 3-4 stone, you want to consider that first. So let's see. This was a strange move to me because it just allows white to take the corner with no issue, or take influence over here. And there's like a weakness here because there's a stone poking at the tiger's mouth or breaking this panuki or tiger's mouth. So I mean, if we look at this way, and if black was to respond this way, black's in bad shape. This is an empty triangle. 1, 2, 3. And which is an inefficient shape, and white got the corner very easily, and that all stems from the fact that black played here. So normally black will play this move, and if white falls in the trap, this is a trap to Atari, then black can kill this stone on a ladder, and white gets a very small corner and black gets a lot on the outside. If it's played correctly, this is the most simplest way to play. White Ataris, then offers or screams at black, hey, I'm going to cut you, so black protects itself, and then white has two options of either guarding his corner here or pressing on black and then playing somewhere else, or even here, I guess, but that's considered a little slow in that variation. So that's just something to think about. But this type of move, just allowing yourself to get Atari easily, usually isn't that good, or getting your Panuki / Tiger Mouth broken up. So we'll move on. Did I write something for this move? Move 10. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think the reason is because I think white should have played like something here or here. And so white like really solidifies the corner here. But then white played this move, which enclosed the 3-4. It's not terrible, but I think it leaves a lot of weakness over here, especially now if black gets this move, because white has cutting points and loses the corner, right? So this is bad for white. This move is on the loser line. That is the second line, and it's nicknamed the loser line. Because it's so low, you're not making almost any points. It's not very efficient. It's inefficient. It looks like I wrote it here. It doesn't generate power that helps you throughout the whole board, and it doesn't get you a lot of points. So this type of move isn't good for two reasons. One, it's on the second line, aka the loser line, and two, it's very close to the strength here. White is very strong here, so it's not ideal to play that close to strength, because white should pincer you in some fashion. And then as black's trying to rush to live or do anything, white can easily make a base and make points on both sides. So by playing low like this, it allows white to pincer you very easily and get a better position. But that didn't happen. This position here, I think, is inefficient and slow. the reason, like I said, is white should pincer in some sort of fashion over here, in my opinion. And if black like tries to run to make life or something, then white would be able to make a nice wall, a nice wall facing white's other stones. Right, and even if black makes a little mess, black's really not making any points, so we'll move on. But yeah, this type of move, it's very slow. I feel like maybe even something like this would be nice. But yeah, we'll move on. Move 14. So black did get this move. That's really good for black. Oh, also, by playing a move like this, it allows black to get away. Like, you wouldn't be able to stop black from connecting and making points. Right? Black will always be able to get out. So that's why this move, it's undercut very easily, and I don't like it. Even something like this. But anyway, we'll move on. Black got a really good move, and then white played off topic. So this breaks a rule or fundamental or a basic, and so let's talk about it. Physical contact. When somebody touches you, when your opponent hits up against your stone, you're losing a liberty, right? You used to have 3 liberties, but now you'll only have 2 liberties, one after black hits you. So you're weaker. So when anybody comes in physical contact with you, you have to evaluate the stone's liberties, how important it is, and if it's important, then you should keep it. So you should make it stronger, or counterattack, one or the other. In this case, you can't really counterattack, but you could make it stronger, right? So, without doing that, it leads to a really bad result for you because you only have 2 liberties. So now I can get bullied around and black can get a much better position. So yeah, I mean, if it turned out like this, it might, this ain't the best example, but you could see that black does get the corner like fairly easy, but loses Sente and a bunch of stuff. So this wasn't the best example, but let's look at it another way. Even if it just went like this, black took 4 points in the corner in Sente, and white is very inefficient. White has a 2-stone wall, and it's only facing this 1 stone. So it's not really making a lot of points, where black made a nice little chunk and is now completely safe. Nothing can like destroy this group. So now black can come back and pincer this or something. So anyway, this happened in the game. Did it? Wow, it really did. Okay. So black got to cut here, and then even got a Panuki. So this became like an insanely good position now for black. And it's all because of this move. It's off topic. The basics of fundamentals is that you want to, when you're touched, when there's physical contact, you have to evaluate how many liberties you have, and then, you know, decide to strengthen or counterattack. Counterattack doesn't work in this case though. Okay, move 17. So black cared about this 1 stone, but these 2 stones are already connected, meaning that they already are doing something, right? So with this stone, it's unimportant because these are already connected. So now is the time where you should pincer in some fashion. And as you can see, if you pincer, not only does it hurt this stone, but it's also building quite a bit of points. It's a big, nice fence post here. So that's where this pincer should really shine, and not worry if white takes 1 stone, then you get even more, right? and white's gonna have make no points, be under attack, and black's gonna make a huge corner and a nice little side. So one of the basic fundamentals is trying to assess which stones are important and which ones aren't. This is physical contact, right? This is what we just talked about. So now this is when you evaluate the stone and see if it's worth saving or not. And if it's not really doing much, then it's time to take a nice bigger move. Very important concepts. Very, very important concepts. Let's move on. Did we talk about move 17 and why? 17. Yeah. So this is that 1, 2, 3 reading I was talking about. I think if white extended here, I guess black is okay. This looks all bad. It all stems down to this, right? So actually maybe this is the right move to play, because this looks really bad, right? Still though, yeah, it stems down to this, and that this needed to be protected now as in some fashion or degree, or leave it alone and oops, and use all the Sente moves, and now you can play like something like this. Anyway, we'll go back. We talked about the pincer. This move, to me, it's kind of like a thank you move. So, what I mean by thank you move is that it's a move that helps white fix itself. White used a knight's move, and a knight's move can be cut. Right now, that cut doesn't work, right? Because of this ladder. But by doing one prep move, that cut would be fine. I mean, if black even played here, this ladder now doesn't work. So that would be really good for black. By playing something like this, now this cut works. And you can see that black's building a nice area here. And white got cut off. So this is really good. Or even breaking the dog's face. This is like breaking this is called the dog's face, the shape here, if white had a stone here. So by breaking the dog's face, making it so white can't play here. Now if white tanuki'd, this cut works, because now there's no ladder, right? There's just weakness everywhere. And white is cut. So the idea, if we go all the way back to the original move here, this move helps white fix itself, and so it's called a thank you move, and it wastes all your potential that you could have used, right? This move, or this move. And if I assume you played it to have the plan of making points here, but this is very, very small. I didn't write this down, but the idea is that when you have thickness, this really strong group, you want to play away from this thickness so that you can make lots of points. But when you're playing close to this thickness, this area that, you know, is already alive, you're not making a lot of points. So this move isn't making a lot of points, and it's helping white. Very, very bad. Same with this move. This was a very bad move. This move is easily cut. And if we do 1, 2, 3 reading, right? 1, 2, 3, and I'll play it out. 1, 2, 3. It's extremely easily cut, and it's the Romeo-Juliet split. Romeo and Juliet. So now these two star-crossed lovers are never going to be connected again, and you just gave white points. So you don't want to play moves that are broken easily. Even if white just played here, you can see that they're not going to connect again, right? So the fact is that this move is not going to connect, meaning it's not really a good move. On top of that, it's on the loser line, which now isn't the time to be playing on the loser line. We talked before that like you should be playing on the third and fourth lines, or I believe we did anyway. So yeah, we talked about it being too low. So there's much bigger moves that can make you way more points than a move like this. Okay. So it's good to stay connected. Yeah. So this move, this is, I guess, what I would call a pre-cut. Like this is already cut, and it doesn't lead to a good result for black. You know, this ladder doesn't work, right? Actually, I think this one does. But still, white can play here. White could play here. And this would be very dangerous for black, right? So black has to figure out a move, which to me doesn't feel good because this is hitting the head of 3 stones. So this is really good shape for white and bad shape for black. And you have this one that sets up this attack, right? You can still play this move if you want. And this looks bad for black. Black really didn't make a lot of points in here at all. And a lot of it's due to this pre-cut here. So, you know, what is it? Don't play pre-cut moves without reading out a good result. So if you read that this is a good result and it comes out with something good, then go ahead. But if there is no good result, then you don't want to play it, especially if it allows white to get all these good moves here. So, anyway, we'll move on. Move 52. This Atari wasted a lot of potential. You don't want to Atari. This is the move. Yeah, you don't want to Atari unless you're going to kill or take a better position. So if white was to play here, if I remember, I really don't see black getting too much of a good position here. I did do a lot more reading and prep for this, but I'm actually running out of time for this review, so I'm sorry. But I feel like I did cover a lot of basics that should help out. This game was missing a lot of fundamentals. So you guys, if you ever need a mentor, you can hit me up and I'll be glad to teach you. I guess very, very, very quickly we'll go over the AI. I only have a few minutes left. But so we talked about this being a really bad move because it's on the second line. It's not that good, and A was much more beneficial. This move, did we talk about this at all? I know we talked a little bit about it. The fact is that because white played over here, I feel like this should be a much more negative move because it leads to such a bad result over here, right? You can see it's even saying that this is kind of a bad move. We did mention that black would have an easier time here, but I'll leave that as such. We talked about this being a really bad move. This is only 1 stone, so instead of playing here, I thought black should pincer, but black's pincering on this side, which looks really strange to me. We did show this move, and I could see why this is a good move because it leads to a big corner, and white will only get so much over here. We talked about this because it's too close to thickness, so it's not really that good. And then we talked about this knight's move too. This thank you move, this is the move where I was like, it fixes white. And we talked about this, and you can see it's almost a -7 point. It's giving white a pretty big lead here at 13 points. because this is a really bad move. I was surprised this was a bad move, but it's just saying there's better stuff to be doing here. Like down here is a big focus. We talked about this pre-cut. This is a pre-cut move. It's -4 points. It's very bad. And I did show you better moves for white. I didn't talk about them explicitly, but I showed you this move, and this move, which apparently is the computer's favorite, and I don't blame it, because that's a really good move for white, as you can see. So we'll just move on a little. Actually, we did get to this, but I didn't get to talk a lot about it, and that's because my time's up. I'm sorry for this review being short. Feel free to hit me up anytime if you're looking for a mentor or something. Okay, I'll end the review here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.